So I have this game here that I've been wanting to check out. Thought I'd do a quick unboxing before we go through the setup and play. This game, you can still usually find it around at a decent low price if you're looking to fill out an order or get something a little bit different. And let's see if I can do this across the table upside down. Okay. Doesn't look like it should be super complicated, although that says expert. So there must be, these are player aid sheets. That does look a little complicated, but the rule book itself is very short. And I know it's supposed to be like a revealing hidden information type game, so we will see. Player sheets. They're thin, and mine's a little scuffed up. You can see it was moved around in the box, but it has a nice little finish on it. And these are thicker than some I've messed with, especially like Constantinopolis and stuff like that. These are a little bit thicker than that, but they're still not very thick. But it has a nice feel, nice look. Not a lot of tokens to it. Let's see, this is kind of strange. The box is folded so that no matter which side you slide it to, it's going to fall down in there. So I may have to do something about that, because that is strange. I'm not a fan of that. And let's see here. The board is stiff, and it feels like it's wanting to crack the seam, so you have to be careful. But a lot of information on the board, lots of writing. At the end of a round, if two players both have one legacy each, the legacies are released. If a player who doesn't have any legacies places a pawn here, he has to pay 2 will. So there's like lots of stuff going on, lots of busy stuff. Well, we will have to see when we jump into it. And there is another side to the board. So this is, if you see this one is blue, it says one only, and then this is yellow. And then on this side, the one is red. So there are 2 different sides to the board, and just then the board, it's separated. Just folding it back up. Now luckily it didn't rip, but eventually that's going to rip at the seam, which is unfortunate. But I hate that. I hate the way they did that. Why not just, if you're going to do that, just have 2 boards, 2 separate boards, and you just slide them together so that it will fit in the box, or make the box a little bit smaller. I guess those had to, and even those, if you notice, they are too big for the box. The paper that goes down in the box doesn't go all the way down behind the little insert, and so this was getting stuck up under that. Just small little details like that are annoying. Now we have score sheets. Okay, we have little plastic crystals, 4 of them. They look pretty cool. They're decently chunky. Yeah, they feel pretty cool. They're really lightweight and plasticky, but they're clear. You could lose those easily, but pretty cool. And then the little wooden tokens, they're smaller than your regular, what you would think of. And I just lost my light. But they're a little smaller than your average little pawn token, but not by much. They feel good. Have a nice feel to them. It does not look colorblind friendly. That is my only concern, the red and the green. If anyone is colorblind, they can tell me in the comments. Can you tell a difference in those two colors? As a former teacher, I would often do linear graphs in multiple colors, especially when we're doing linear inequalities, and you would have to graph and shade the areas, and I had students who would say, I guess I'm colorblind, I didn't know. They couldn't tell the difference, and I had. So yeah, if someone could let me know if you can tell the difference on those, because I may have to mark up somehow some of the tokens. But tokens feel good. Let's see about the cards. Ooh, okay. Now this I actually do like quite a bit. There's not a lot of cards in the game, so they put a little linen finish like on them. And the edges are white. I'm not so concerned about the face, but on the back they're white, so when you're shuffling, you don't have to worry about them if they get a little nicked. So yeah. And the cards, it looks like they have reused artwork. Okay, so this is probably from some sort of anime series or something, but you can see the cards are numbered. They do have different titles on them, but see, all gain one. So all of this gain one this, whatever it is, and it's the same artwork. So the cards that do the same thing have the same artwork. Which, I mean, it is what it is. And even that's the same artwork, it's just slid over. But I mean, that's the way a lot of animes and stuff do cutscenes, just reusing the same still. But anyway, it looked interesting. This is a game I've had for a while. I will have to get myself a little baggie or something to put the cards in, just so that they're not flopping around in there. The tokens are a nice thickness. I like that. They are a little small, so that is going to be a little bit of a problem trying to grab them and use them, and we'll have to see. At least the board looks a little dark and these look a little light, but but once you punch it out, it's some of them might be a little hard to see depending on where it is on the board. But yeah, we'll have to see about that when we get it to the table and play it. But this is something I've had for a while. I caught it on a great sale, and it's still reasonably priced, and I've had it and been wanting to check it out, and I thought I would just share it with you as I did that. Here's a quick basic setup. I won't be able to get everything on camera, but you can see we have the reddish orange player here, white, blue, green will be just off camera here. The board is rather small, so I've zoomed in a lot so that we can kind of see what's going on, and it is square. We have these coin tokens. We'll just put these here. These have a starting value of 0, so we'll get into that later. Then you have these books with a starting value of 1, 4 of those, and these little serpent gems, 8 of those, value of 1. Then you have the relics. We have the black one and the white one. You also have a yellow relic that is only used in the expert. We'll just put that back into the box. And the time marker, we'll just start it right here at the 1. Each player gets a player board and these little plastic gems to show your wheel power. So player 1 will start at 0, player 2 and player 3 will start at 1, and player 4 will start with 2, just off camera.
Player 1 will also get this little time clock just to show who is the first player, but they have a little track that you can use, but it's not really necessary. It's basically just showing who took the first action this turn. Then you have a deck of cards. Okay? These are the first 18, and then these are 19 through 28. These are used only for the expert mode. We'll just put those back in the box. We'll shuffle these up. And in this game, I'll just do it random for each player. We'll receive 2 cards. One will go into the shoal or the shallows. One will go into the deep abyss. And that represents lost memories of the old world, and the abyss, of course, is harder to reach. The rest of the cards, without looking, put them back in the box. Each player can get one of these if you like. This is for the expert game only. This tells you about the cards 19 through 28, so you won't need that. For this game, this is for the normal game. Basically, all you need to know or to tell players is all the cards deal with this gets plus 1 point, or you could lose if you don't have them. This could give plus 1 point value, minus 1 point value. These can be worth extra points or minus points. Everything basically deals with all these tokens and the point values they give. The back is blank. That way, I guess, if somebody was in game and they were flipping it over looking, since there's fewer of these, they wouldn't know what they were looking at. But we won't need those for this. Put that back in the box. Now, one thing you will need during the game, and I will talk about this in the post game, is the back of the rule book has all of the locations listed and what they do. It is confusing at first, but once you get it, for instance, round 1 only, that is this one space right here. It says 1 only right here. And you can see exactly what everything does, and it's written right here. And that way, once you do it once or twice, you know what the symbols mean. So keep that close handy. And I think we are ready to go. So what I will do is we will just pretend that we are the red player. So let's look at these 2 cards and show you what we have. For instance, this card here. All players with at least 2 books will gain an extra victory point for each token. Now this X represents any token on the board. Okay? So any token at the end of the game will give them an extra bonus point, but only if they have 2 knowledge tokens accumulated. And that's these. There's only 4 of those in the game. Then this one says if there is 1 player with the most coins, he gains 4 extra points. So it cannot be ties. And you cannot have 0, of course. That would be a tie. So the one single person with the one single most number of coins, these here, which normally are worth 0 points. But if you are the sole person with the most at the end of the game, you will get 4 points. Now that, to me, is not as important information as this, where everything you get could be worth an extra point. Plus those are worth points. So both of these would be worth 2 points. Then if you had 2 of them, now they're instantly worth 2 points each from the bonus. So that's 4 points, and this is 4 points. And then if you have anything else, each one of them would be worth a point. So I like this one. I think this one is much more valuable information. So we're going to stick that in the abyss. So that is harder for people to find out about. And we'll put this one in the shoal. And now we're ready to go. This game is very quick once you learn to play. So, player 1, they don't have any wheel to go here. So for now, let's just go here and take 3 coins. Then this player is going to jump on this opportunity. They'll spend their 1 wheel point and get a book of knowledge. Because there's only 4 of them in the game, it's usually a good idea to grab one early. If you don't need it later, you can get rid of it. Now, where is this player going to go? Well, go here. Now this is the clock tower. So at the clock tower, they're going to get this token. unless they already have it. So now they will be the first player next turn. Also, they could return something to the ruins if they had it, but they don't. Now what this is for is if you find out something is worth negative points, you could get rid of it. Okay? It says you may, but they didn't. So they just wanted to be first player next turn for whatever reason. This player is just going to go, they don't really know what to do right now, so they're going to go here before anybody else does and get 3 wheel. Up to 5. We go here. A lure show. So first, I get to look at another player's shoal card. That is the shallows, the easier one. And then we can choose a player other than ourselves who will get. But it says you may. You don't have to. But you may. So let's just look at this player and see what they're up to. And it says all coins will lose 1 point at the end of the game. So remember, we know that we can make a coins worth 1 point if we have 2 books. But this says all coins will lose 1 point. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We think it'll be funny. We'll just grab a coin and give it to that player. Okay? Now, this player says, well, that's kind of sneaky that you did that. So we're going to go here to the Sooty Watchtower. And we will look at another player's shoal card. And for the remainder of the round, all memory card looking effects that are targeted at the white player cannot be used. But there are no more. They're just trying to get revenge. They're going to look at our card in secret. Ooh, remember? We know that if you have the most coins, you get 4 points. So he's thinking, hey, that's not too bad, actually. So, their turn. Blue player will just go here and grab 2 coins. Oops, making a mess. Green player, they're going to go here. They don't understand why nobody went here to get the old cross and get a 1 point token. And then we are going to go here, grab us 2 wheels since we don't have any. We're lucky that we were able to do that. The white player will just go ahead and go here and get 1 coin and 1 wheel. And now they see that, hey, it's not a bad deal apparently to get those coins. So now they're trying to fight for coins. So that's probably a bad mistake by us. Now, it looks like there's no other places to go. Everything's blocked. But this infinity symbol means that you can just go here. Any number of people. I kind of do wish this space was, instead of being a perfect circle, was more like an oval. Or a double circle to make it look like an infinity symbol and then have an infinity symbol drawn inside of it. Be kind of cool. But anyway, that's the first turn. So now you grab your tokens back. We advance this. And now no one can go to these 2 spaces for the remainder of the game. This is only in the first round. But now the blue player will get to start. And they missed out on a lot of stuff earlier. So I think they're going to go here. They get to look at a soul card. Well, they're going to look at the green player's card. And we don't know what it is, but they're going to look at it and they'll put it back. And then they get to choose either to receive 2 wheel or a token. They'll take a token. Now the green player is going to go and they're like, oh, I have all this wheel. And the blue player only had 2. They didn't have enough. So I'm going to go here. They're going to spin 3. 1, 2, 3. And they're going to grab this black relic, which is worth 3 points base value. We don't know what it'll be at the end of the game. Then let's just go here and grab one of these for now. The white player is like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go right there. Get me 2 more coins because they are now in the lead with coins. Kind of washes out, but maybe they can hope that somebody else will rush them for coins. But right now they're in the lead, and they're going to just play that game. See, the blue player will go here. They hate that they missed out, not having enough wheel. The green player is going to get some of their wheel back. we're going to go up here and let's look at the green players soul card. All players with exactly 2 books will lose 10 points. Oh my goodness. So this is very important for us. Now in a normal game, somebody probably would have put this in the deeps, okay? Because we have a card that says if somebody has at least 2 of these, then all their tokens will be worth 1 point. But this card says if you have exactly 2 of those, you will lose 10 points. And that is a huge amount of points. And yes, you can go negative in this game. That is huge for us to find out. That is just tremendous. And now we cannot be targeted for the rest of this game, or this round. So the white player is going to go, they decided they're going to go here. They're going to take the first player token. And they will grab one of these. They now have 2, which is a little dangerous. But, oh, nope, that's not grab one. They can get rid of one. So, they decided they're not going to get rid of any. See, blue player will go here, grab 1 coin and 1 wheel, and then the green player with their last piece, there's nowhere to go. We gained 2 spaces. We lost 2 spaces. They don't really know of anyone they want to... Well, they could. They could go here and attack. So they attack, which basically lets them look at... let's see, the Allure Show. They can look at another player's card, so they'll look at the white players. There we go. Interesting. Yeah. And then they can choose a player other than themselves if they want. Well, they're going to go ahead and dump another coin on them. So something's up. Nope, they're not going to do that. They're going to put it here. Now those 2 people are tied. And then we have another turn. There's only 1 space left. So both of these players will get 1 wheel. We'll grab our pieces back. And then we are ready for round 3. Round 3, the white player is going to go to the, where is it? Yes, the Soul Recorder. So for 2 wheel, which they have 3, they get to look at somebody's Abyss card. Ooh, so they're going to look at us. They're going to see this about having 2 books and all the things worth 1 point. So now they have a lot of important information. That they're in a good place. Let's see. And I have these on the wrong thing. The blue player is going to jump right here. They can get a book or 2 wheel. They will take a book. And the green player doesn't understand why no one went here. So for 3 wheel, again, 1, 2, 3, they will also take the white relic. So now they have both of the valuable relics. But we don't know. I'm just playing this at random to see how it goes. We are going to go here. Grab an amulet. White is going to go, they will go there. Grab them 3 wheel. Blue player. They are also going to look at the white player's Shallows card, the Soul. And then they are going to be defended from card looking. The green player, they're going to take the first player token. Why not? And they can get rid of one of their tokens, but they decided not to. Now, we're going to go there. So for 1 token, we find somebody that has the max of some of these tokens, and they have to give to us. This is the Creeping Main Street. And in case of a tie, you choose. So there's 2 people tied here. So we'll just choose this player. They know what our card is. We're going to take that from them. 2 players were tied. It has to be more than 0, but they were tied with 1 book each, so we took that from them. So they are going to, let's see, why not? They're just going to do this. For 4 coins, or I'm sorry, for 4 wheel, they're just going to take it back. Be like, no, So maybe we've got them to waste a turn. Blue's going to jump on the chance to grab one of these, and green is... where do they want to go? I think they're just going to get 2 wheel and hold them. And then for our last turn, let's see. 2 players have 4. We only have 3. So let's go here and grab 2 coins. And now we are in the lead with the most of coins at the moment. We grab our pieces again. It's a little awkward, but it's not bad. And now we go to round 4. We will start with the green player. Now, this is a place where you could end the game at the end of round 4. But what you need is for 2 different people to have these relics, the black relic and the white relic. One player goes here with one of the relics, and a different player goes to the other one with the other relic, and then you can end the game at the end of the 4th round. But green owns both of them, so he cannot do that. He doesn't want to do that, so there will be a 5th round. But you can see the game is very fast anyway. So he will go here. He will grab a library book since everybody's fighting over them so much. Red is going to go... let's see. We're going to go here. We're going to look at the green player's card. Oh, I'm sorry. We've already seen the green players. We wouldn't have made that mistake in a real game. So let's look here at the blue. If there is one player with the least amount of money, that player cannot win the game. So we now know a lot of important information. And now the blue player doesn't think it's weird that we were grabbing coins. But they do think the green player is weird to not have grabbed any, but he doesn't know that information. That's as far as I know. We will send the white player to, let's see. Let's just go there, get them ready for an attack later. Blue has plenty, so they're going to go here. And it says you can just attack and take any item you want, so they're going to grab this book from them, which is what the white player was hoping to do. Then the green will go here and grab a white token. We are going to... It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get 2, and we know that if you have exactly 2 of these. So we're not going to go for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. We'll get the first player token, which is not a big deal, but we're going to get rid of one of these. Oh, no, we don't want to get rid of a coin, do we? No. Because that'll cancel out the loss of points if we have the most. So we're going to take that back. We're going to go here and just get 2 more coins to try and secure us first place there. It'll kind of cancel it out. White, we'll just get 2 more wheel. Blue, they're going to go there to keep somebody else from getting first place, and they are going to... They're going to put back a coin, which will kind of confuse some people. Green, they're going to spend 2 of their wheel, and they're going to look at the white player's Abyss card. We'll pretend. Let's go. We've already committed, so let's just go here. We'll get a coin and a wheel. White, we'll just get a wheel, and blue, go here. Okay, right there. They'll spin 1 wheel. There are 3 players. Us, the blue player, and the green player that are all tied with the most number of these. So they're just going to pick us and pick on us and take one of those. So the player with the most of those you choose will give you one, and if it's a tie, you get to choose. And that's the end of that round. This is the last round of the game. It is that quick when you know how to play. Blue is going to go first right there and take this book. Boom. That was a huge move for them. That probably won them the game because of the information we know. Which means that these players that are in the dark, he doesn't know what's going on. If green goes here, it says you receive 2 coins, but there's only 1. And it doesn't let you steal from anybody else. So they might as well go here, get this last coin, and grab a wheel with it. So now they at least have 1 coin. They don't know what's going on. Maybe they're late to the party. So we'll just go here and grab one of these, since one got stolen. They will go here, grab the last one of these, and they get to look at a card. I don't think it really matters at the moment, so they're going to look at blue or green players. Then, blue is going to grab 3 wheel. Green will come in and grab 2 wheel. We have 3 wheel. We could steal one of those tokens. Is it worth the risk? That's some information we don't know. But we don't really see a lot of points for us anywhere else. We know we're struggling. We know we're behind. Let's do this then. So for 1 wheel, we will take one of these books away from this guy because he has the single most. We know that will hurt him more than he knows. So maybe that'll help us in the game. This player will now go here. And for 4 coins, they can take any token. They're going to take the white relic from the green player. And I'm sure that has upset them. Let's see. Blue, their final turn. They're feeling pretty good, so they can't really do much. They're just going to get a wheel. Green, same thing, grab another wheel point. We only have 2 wheel. There's no more tokens out. We can't steal any tokens. There's no sense in looking at anything. So, yep, it looks like for the last turn we will do that. And the white player, they have 7 wheel. Do they want to try and do something? I don't think so. So they'll just take a wheel point as well. And that is the game. For now, I've gathered the cards up. It doesn't matter where they were because we're going to go through all of them. So let's look. 5, 8 coins there. A book. 2 serpents. So let me move this out of the way. And we will go red. And that was us, we'll pretend. White. Blue. And I'm doing this fast, one-handed, so it is horrible writing. Sorry about that. I don't have good writing to begin with. So then we just fill in the blanks here. 5, 8, 8. 4, 3, and 1. Then we look right here. Those little serpent symbols. 2. They have 1. 3. And this player has 2. Then the book symbol. So we just do that for each one of those. Now looking here on the pad, these black squared or black encased numbers represent the cards for the expert mode, which we're not in. In column 7 and column 8 will only have those cards available if you're playing the expert mode. One of these will change the game outcome, but it's not in play, so this will always be 1 in the standard game. And it's hard to see on the paper, but there is a shadowed number 1 right there, just to remind you. And then this will only take effect if there is a card that affects that. Same with 6. So let's see how this goes. We got the basics filled in right there. Now, all these cards are numbered so that you know the cards to use for the base game and for the easy game and for the hard game. But then down here they have a step number, and that is what does it affect in the game for scoring. So let's just go through the cards. Number 1, right here. If there is one player with the least coins in the game, that player cannot win the game. And we see that this green player had the least coins in the game. They cannot win no matter what their score is. So we just see, are there any other? Nope, there's no other number 1 card. So now we go to number 2. Here's a number 2. All coins will lose 1 point. Okay? But then we have to see, this one right here says, if there is one player with the most coins, he will gain 4 points. Well, we will get 4 points, but then each coin will lose a point. Okay, so actually I did this wrong. Well, I should have done, instead of doing 8 there, my score would be 4 minus 8, so minus 4. So my score is minus 4 there. Are there any other cards with the number 2? No. So let's do that with each player. They will have a score of minus 4, minus 3, minus 1. So it worked out for them, but my score is a minus 4. So then we move to the third column. And there is no number 3 card. So each one of those tokens that was normally worth 1 point will still be worth 1 point. So we go to 4. Here's a 4, here's a 4, and there's a 4. Oh, all the 4s were out. So all players with at least 2 books will gain 1 point for each token. So this player has 2. But then we have to look here. All players with exactly 2 will lose 10 points. And then all books gain 2 points. So since we had 1 book, we're going to get a plus 2 score. I know I did this wrong. I'm sorry about that. This player will get a plus 2 points. No, it gains 2, so it's worth 3. It started off at 1. So I'm messing up already. This is a little confusing. That's my fault. Now this player has exactly 2. So they're going to be at minus 10. But since they have at least 2, they get 1 point for each token. So they have 2, 3, 6 tokens. So it's going to be minus 10 plus 6. So this will be a minus 4 score. Then we go to the 5 card. Both players who released this will gain 10 points. Well, nobody released them. One person had both of them. They weren't able to do that. So 0 points here. No one went to the space number 4 and released those tokens, so they don't get bonus 10 points. And number 6. If there is one player with the most tokens, they gain 5 coins. Well, let's see. Now I have to look over here at the board. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We by far had the most tokens. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, we had the most tokens overall, so we will get a plus 5 points. They get 0, they get 0, they get 0. Now, simple math here. You have parentheses, okay? This, since they cannot win, this becomes a 0. 0 times all of this. The rest of us, we add up our totals and multiply by 1. So minus 4 plus 5 would be 1, plus 5 would be 6. Minus 4 plus 1 plus 2, so that is a minus 2. 0, then they get a minus 4, and then 3, 5 times 1. They would have had a 5, but they get a 0 instead. And somehow we managed to pull out the win. See, I messed up the scoring. It's much clearer if you do it properly. But there you go. That is how you play the game. And let me talk about the game just for a minute or two. The cards are pretty good quality. They have like a linen finish to them. They feel really good. And the artwork on it, I mean, it's anime. The only problem I have is that when you have characters on there, they basically just take this, kind of like they do when you watch an anime where they just use the same frame over and over, and they might flip it or zoom in. So when it has a particular character on there, it's the same image over and over. That's not a huge deal. The card quality is good, but one of the biggest complaints I have, and you can see it right here, okay, that card is called Stacked Knowledge. If I can get the camera to focus. Let me try real quick to get it to focus a little bit better. There you go, Stacked Knowledge. See, it's not too bad, but it's this weird kind of cursive. And when you see the board, you cannot read that. So you have to have that player guide next to the board at all times. The font they used, it's a dark board. It goes in a circle like a clock, which is, it's kind of cool to look at, but you cannot read it. So you have to have that player aid by the board. The cards are pretty good quality. Pawns, I mean, they're just simple little pawns. And you can tell me this is a reddish orange and this is just a green, but they look like they would cause problems to colorblind people to me. You might have to put stripes on some of them or something. But the pawns, they're good for what they are. These little wheel things, they look cool. These little crystals, they're kind of cool. But as you saw in the game, I knocked it around. These slide around so easy. I almost would have rather had a little flat token, either wood or cardboard chit. These are good quality. They're small, but they're thick. And the images on them, that is gold, and the 0 is very legible. This is white with a green serpent, and that 1 is legible. This is a red book. So these are different enough that they are easily visible from a distance. Where you get into some trouble is with these. Let me get especially the white one. I try to keep these separated when I put them back in the box. They're both white, so from a distance, if you're not paying attention, you could just put that in the pile with those and then misplace it, and it's not a huge deal. But those are, I mean, they're good. They work good. But this is horrible. This is just paper thin. It's just plain on the backside, which is not a big deal. It's really thin, and it's slick. And you notice, I mean, this slides all over it. As long as you're careful with this, or if you just replace it with a simple little disc, then these work fine, because all you're doing is putting your cards there, you're putting your tokens here, which, you know, you saw it's not a huge deal, right? So it doesn't have a lot of use, but the use it does have, mainly this, tracking your wheel, is so easy to mess up. So these aren't great. Now, let's look at my biggest complaints about the production. So there is the board, and I'm going to try to focus the best I can, but you can tell how hard it is to read. This is the Venerable Cathedral. This is the place where they looked at the old world. Yeah. The Hidden Village, that one's not too bad. The Underground Library. Until you know what the symbols mean and how the game plays, this is a mess. And me trying to learn the game the first time and looking at the board and trying to read it, it was so confusing just because everything was so hard to read. So the player aid is a must. And these, with the cards, they're not really necessary. They're okay. Once you look at a card, you just kind of know, is this token a plus or minus? Or is it a lose the game? Are these good or bad? Are these good? So you know what the cards are going to do. This is a must. You have to keep this there. You can see the rules to the game are only 2 pages. So I knew it shouldn't be that hard to learn. It's just that this layout was confusing. And it kept saying you can go anywhere in this wedge region. But it means in these spaces, and this one says infinity. And with everything being so dark at first glance, until I set it up and played it, it was kind of confusing because of the font. I don't believe the game came with any bags, except for this one. The little gems was in it. So we have all the tokens in here. I put the easy and the hard face to face. Did that. Score pads. All of these are just paper thin, but it's not a huge deal, right? Okay. But I'm not going to put these in yet because I want to show you one of my biggest problems. This is a small square board, which is not a big deal. Let me show you the back real quick before I put it up. The expert side has the red one here, and you have the gold token. You have the regular white and black relics, but you also have the gold relic, and then you have a ninth card, the Code of Nine. So you have a ninth card with spaces to go look at this, so you can look at the ninth card. And so that's just more unknown information to make the game a little harder. Plus you use the harder cards. But my board, this is the way it came. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but that is the way it came. But look at this. It doesn't fit in the box, and so when it slides to one end or the other, it falls down in that hole. Why? Why would you, if you're going to do that, make this box square. Then, if you had to, okay, you fold this over, it would work. These could have been double-sided. Yes, one side is smaller, but look, it almost fits like that. You could have put this on the hard side or on the expert side. See, it says normal expert. You could have put that word, and boom, you could have had front and back. Because like I said, you don't really need to look at these the whole game. Then it would work. So, got to fix that real quick. This is not a perfect solution, but this will help. You're going to have this weird hook in there, but I forced this down on this side, bend it backwards, so I can put the board in first. There. Now, the board won't slide around and be in that awkward position, and now everything can fit on top. And to me, this just makes more sense than the way they had it. I figure, like most companies, that if they produce several games, they have standard size boxes, and this was the closest standard size box that they had. So, there. So let's talk about it. Okay, that was Code of Nine. I've been wanting to get that video for a while because it is an older game, and that's what I like to focus on. There's not a lot of videos for some of these older games, and there's a lot of good gaming goodness in the old games out there. And I think I got this seriously for $10 or $11 on a clearance that I added to an order to get the free shipping, and it's pretty cool. You have to go into it telling the people, you are not going to know all the information. If you spend all your time trying to find all the information, you're not going to be grabbing any tokens. You're not going to have any score. And yes, as you saw, you can have a negative score. And there are chances where you just don't have the information and you lose completely, like the green player. Even though he came in second place, he lost. Had no chance to win. But as you saw, with me stumbling, the game goes quick. And actually, that is one of the cool things about it, and it's the easiest way to teach it. Set it up, say, don't ask questions, don't worry about it. Put this piece here, put this piece here, put this piece here. We're going to play. So on my turn, I'm just going to go here, and this gives me these tokens. See how that has a 1 on it? That means it might be worth 1 point at the end of the game. And you let everybody take a turn and say, okay, now we're a fifth of the way through the game. And they're like, what? And once they kind of understand, you do not know all the information. You're unraveling these lost fragments of memory or whatever is kind of what the theme is. So you don't have all the information and you don't know exactly what the point values are, and you're just trying to work it out based on where other people are going, what they're fighting for, and the information that you've seen. And when you tell them, hey, look, once you know how the game plays, you can easily knock this game out in like 20 minutes. It says you can play 3 to 4 players. With 3 players, the fourth player is like a ghost. You just have their card sitting there. You could, even if you wanted, give each player one of the ghost tokens and let them block a space or something. I don't know how you'd work it out. Or you could just leave it open and the board would be less crowded, because you saw there were several times where we just went to the infinity one wheel spot. It's not a huge deal, but honestly, the game is a 4-player game. It is a 4-player game. It is so difficult to try and explain how it plays, because when you set up the board, you're like, oh, this is cool. It's a small square board and it's got this round looking clock, and then they try to read it, and then it's got all these symbols, and then it's anime, and a lot of people are going to be turned off by that. And with the weird font and the anime, a lot of people are not going to want to learn to play it, especially when the best way to play it is to just play a turn and tell them, look, if we lose, who cares? The game takes 20 minutes. We'll play again, and then nobody will know how to play, as long as you're okay not having all the information. But if you're wanting to fill out an order, I see this on sale a lot of times. That's Code of 9. Hope that gives you some information to help you make your choice. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a pretty cool game. It has a few just horrible decisions in the product, the insert, and the font. But other than that, it's a pretty cool game. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.